in my promotion of the method, I refer to it as stripping away the satin to reveal the muscle that's underneath. And obviously, when we practice the steps in a classical ballet environment, there's different goals in mind, different things that we're working towards. But the method, the technique itself, can be used just for pure conditioning sake. So I've taken classical ballet exercises and I've tweaked them to the extent that there's more focus on less extreme positions, obviously, because if you haven't been trained in ballet, you don't want to be working in crazy turnout. You don't want to be working in super high extension. So it's adapted in that sense that it's a more like restrained approach, but I add more reps. I add more endurance to the movement because dance is an anaerobic sport, right? It's little bursts of energy, and the longest you'd push on stage is maybe a 3-minute variation, and then you rest in the wings. So it's not aerobic. So what I've done is I've taken that and then I've added an aerobic element to it. So you're performing the same steps in a modified range, a modified format for a longer period of time. And I've added light weights in many cases, many exercises, and I've separated it more into different focuses. So the exercises are focused more in a conditioning and a sort of a sports approach, as opposed to a choreographed phrase where it's touching on a little bit of everything and it's made to be a message or a beautiful artistic expression. The exercises in my program are more, okay, now we're going to focus on squareness in the hips. We're going to focus on lengthening through the spine. We're going to focus on building the adductors in this exercise. We're going to focus on this. So it's parceled in different ways. And it's, like I said, adapted to be more aerobically focused than just anaerobic. I started the extension method based on the premise that sports like soccer and football and hockey and basketball could really benefit from dance training, just for speed, agility, flexibility, coordination, reaction time. Evander Holyfield studied ballet for 25 years, and he danced. He danced in that ring. He was brilliant, and he got that fancy footwork from dance classes. Lynn Swann, Pittsburgh Steelers, Hall of Famer. I mean, he was called the Nureyev of the field. And so it's been commented on for years. People have made the connections, and I've seen, stories about, football teams taking ballet classes and college ball. And it's like, okay, great, but why hasn't somebody really integrated a serious program? And I still would love to do that one day. That's kind of the ultimate goal for me, is to really get in there with the pro teams. But you think about hockey. Skaters don't skate parallel down the ice. They wouldn't go anywhere. They'd stay in the spot. They turn out to push off to move down the ice. So why don't they train in turnout? Right? There's just so many connections that could be made there. So yeah, I mean, you think of synchronized swimming and figure skating, that's the obvious connection because it's dance on ice and in the water. But setting aside the aesthetics, I think there's deeper connections that can be made in these other sports. Claim that I was the first in Canada to really start adapting ballet for fitness, because it was 2003. And then when bar classes started becoming super popular, and every block, every city block was opening a bar studio, it was intimidating and frustrating for me at first, because I felt like, I was at the lead of this, and now everyone claims to be a dancer. And the frustrating thing is to see some programs allow teachers to do a weekend course to be certified, and they're claiming to be teaching classical ballet, which, if taught incorrectly, can be very damaging. Um, so that, I mean, what sets my program apart is that every single instructor I have is a serious professional. You know, they've attended a professional school, they've had a professional career, and they really really know what they're doing. And also, I've been told that a lot of these programs that claim to be ballet inspired are just using a bar as a prop. So, you know, they'll just put their hands on the bar and they'll do 100 leg lifts and without really any technique. But I've gotten the feedback that the integrity of the true classical ballet technique really, really stays strong in my program more than others. And then I would also say a lot of the ballet-based programs out there are just bar focused. So they're just bar classes. Whereas I only added bar actually 5 years into my program. It started with my Allegro Ballet Bootcamp class, which was conducted entirely in the center. And so I guess I have 9 classes now under the umbrella of the extension method, and it's a fully comprehensive ballet-based workout, touching all elements of fitness. It's not just a bar workout. It's not just cardio. It's not just core. It's everything, but each of the classes are structured with a different focus. So I think it's more comprehensive than a lot of the ballet-based workouts that are out there.